I'm Sam Vartholomeos. I play Mike in The Crowded Room, and this is Young Entertainment Mag.
Hi, I'm Daniela with Young Entertainment Mag. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited to have you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me, Daniela.
Yeah, especially on an apocalypse day.
Yeah,
Thanks for fitting us
yeah,
in.
yeah. It's a. There wasn't many other things I could do today, so I'm glad we scheduled it today.
Amazing. Okay, so I have to know, this isn't written down as one of my questions, but you're in New York. So what was your background? Like what is your acting background? Obviously, you have become super successful. You have your setup in, your apartment ready to go, where you're, ready to do a self-tape at a moment's notice. What was your what's your acting background? How did you get here?
Yeah. Well, the little setup I have was thanks to COVID, and everything was just kind of taped. And this was literally like the setup I used for the past like three jobs I've worked on. Um, so they are watching the self tapes, and one of them was before COVID, so they do watch self tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born and raised in New York. I came up doing theater here in I'm in Astoria, Queens, and there's a very large Greek community here, and I'm Greek, and started doing plays like fully in Greek at like 6, 7 years old, something like that, and I had no idea that there was a business involved in this industry. I thought you just kind of showed up and they were like, "Are you going to do this and that?" And then that's it. And
Yeah.
my friend and neighbor at the time, when it came time to looking into high school, she was like, "There's one high school you have to go to, and it's LaGuardia High School for the Performing Arts." And I was like, "All right, cool." So she picked a couple of monologues for me, coached me in those monologues, and it was a pretty. I mean, it was probably looking back at it, that was like the first taste of what the industry is like. It was like a 3 round audition process, and as they whatever want to see more of you, you get the call back in the final interview, whatever. And yeah, that was like my first like look into the city, and this Queens boy like taking over Manhattan. And from there, I got really lucky. I started taking classes, and found a manager who started sending me out on auditions, and from
Cool.
there found another great manager. And yeah, it was just through the help of some really amazing people. No one in my family's in this industry, and I think they've been so supportive. I love my family. Every single one of them have like been really supportive of what I do, but they're also like, "Can you please like do something else so we can help you? Like, why don't you try and be a lawyer, or try to be like in construction, or like a
Yeah.
cop or something?" I'm just like, "I'm sorry, guys." Yeah.
That's amazing. It's so cool. And I'm sure now they're just so pumped. They're like, okay, he did it. This is freaking cool.
Yeah, I think so. Last year, I think around this time last year, I was at the Tribeca Film Festival with this other show I did, Bridge and Tunnel, and that was the first time I got to bring my parents to
Oh, wow.
see to a premiere. And it was really cool. I mean, my mom, first of all, my mom became like the belle of the ball there. Like there was like a line of people like waiting to talk to this woman, and it was so funny. I also brought them to the Crowded Room premiere last week, and a lot of the PR people uh from Tribeca were also working the Crowded Room. So they were the first thing they came up to me and they were like, "Is your mom here?" And I'm just like, "Yes, she's here." I have pictures of her like chatting up with these PR people. It's so funny. But yeah, I think it wasn't until the Crowded Room that they realized like, "Oh, this is what you do."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it was just really. I don't think I've ever hugged. My mom even said that. She was like, "I don't think we ever shared a hug like that ever on the red carpet." It was really cute. It was really
Oh
cute.
my God, I just got chills. That's really sweet. I'm sure
Yeah.
that's probably maybe the best or one of the best moments of your life. That's a huge turning point. And it's
Yeah.
as an actor, I mean, it's such a long haul. And so sometimes it feels like, what's happening? When is this going to pick up? When is my time? And you put in so much work. And so to experience that, I'm sure was so cool. So
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what did you know about the crowded room before becoming a part of it? Did you know a whole lot about it? Was it kind of one of those things where you went into it blindly? What was that like?
Yeah, so thinking of like the breakdown I got, I didn't get much. I feel like sometimes sometimes they'll send you like the first 3 episodes in an audition, like to get into the mindset of the show, the theme and everything. And I didn't get anything for this. I think I just got the audition sides.
Okay.
And I have a very short memory when it comes to auditioning. I sort
Okay.
of I try to just do them and forget about them. Just because
Yeah.
I don't want to be sitting there waiting by the phone, like, like you never know. And I'm really happy I didn't do that with this because I auditioned for it, I think in January,
Okay.
mid-January, and it's a self-tape. You kind of throw it out into the ether and just like hope for the best. Um, and then I got a text from my manager, and he was like, "Hey, you're up for the crowded room." And I was like, "The crowded room." I went back in my email, and I'm like, "Oh, the crowded room. Yeah, okay, cool." And he was like, "Yeah, you have a director's interview tomorrow." I was like, oh, "Okay, cool." And it was with Cornell, and I told him this at the premiere, and I really mean it. It was probably the coolest interview I've ever had with a director and like in an audition uh scenario, because it didn't feel like one. It was just like he was like, "Tell me like one of the happiest moments in your life." And I was just like, "What?" And just I had the sides ready, and I was just like
Yeah.
ready to do this, and you're thinking about everything, and I just felt like I was talking to someone, and that's kind of how it felt, working with Tom and Levon on set. I had scenes with them the most, and it was super super special. And then like the next day or 2 days later, I think I had a casual Zoom with Tom Holland, and it was just like, oh, okay. It was so, like you just meet someone and you're like, you're just charming as hell. Like you're a charming goddamn dude. That's what it was. I was just like, dude, if I don't get this, like, he's just a cool guy. Yeah, and he is. He's a proper gentleman.
That's so cool. Okay, so what do you think the motivation was behind that when he was just asking you like, what's the happiest moment of your life? Where do you think that comes from?
I think, well, because I heard this from a couple of the other actors as well. They all had a similar interview with him or talk with him, but in different ways. Like I
Okay.
think I don't want to blow up her story, but Emma Laird had a very different experience with him, and I think it kind of went in tandem with the character. So Mike
Okay.
is this kind of cool, charming guy, and it was really funny talking with Tom and his team about Mike. They just said some really funny stuff and like ways I should think about Mike. But yeah, I think it just kind of went with like he's just a happy dude, and he doesn't see problems, he only sees solutions. And it's just there's always a silver lining. There's always a solution to a problem. So I don't know. I think maybe he just kind of wanted to see like a little bit of light in me and whoever
Yeah.
else he spoke to. Yeah, yeah. Now looking back at it, that's probably what it was.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's kind of like you just want to almost see like the character living inside you already, just like innately you kind of without having the sides behind it. I don't know, it's kind of what it sounds like. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, and then eventually, like with my interview with Tom, we finally got to the lines. So
Yeah.
they got to
You're
see
like,
a little. It
finally.
wasn't just, yeah. They were just like, yeah, we think he's it. Let's the shot, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Did you have any chemistry reads?
With Tom, yeah, it ended up
Okay.
being not in person though. It was all over Zoom, just like this. But yeah, that was sort of interview slash chemistry read with Tom. Yeah,
Gotcha. Cool. Wow. And all on Zoom. That is wild. Okay. You're
yeah.
gonna have to help me out with this one because I'm gonna be very honest with you. I had an
Yeah, my
op
last name.
no.
Oh, okay. That's
But
where my mind always goes. They're like, please, anytime like I'm about to be called up on stage, they're like, "Please, can you help us with your last name?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, sure. It's Vartholomeos. It's Vartholomeos." If anyone is wondering. But yeah,
I
sorry,
love
go
it.
ahead.
No, so I always like anything I don't know how to pronounce, I'll like look it up before my interviews. And then sometimes like my notes that I make, I'm like, okay, wait, I can't understand that either. Okay, so my question, you're going to be like, this is a lot less confusing than I'm about to share. So I was going to say, did you know anything about the Billy Milligan case and or the dissociative identity disorder? That's the word I can't pronounce.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. This is a lot of I was a psychology major in college, so I should be able to say that pretty smoothly. But yeah, no, I didn't. I had no idea. I had no
Okay.
idea about the guy. I had no idea about his story, and I quickly went and got the book. Saw the documentary on Netflix, and it's pretty. I mean, just the timing of it with Sybil and that whole, just the timing of it is just like you don't know what to believe, and I hope people are just as confused watching this show, because the turns and just how everything connects is real. I mean, it's a testament to Akiva Goldsman, who is just a genius. And I was so happy to work with him again. I'd worked with him on Star Trek for a little bit, so it was nice to be. But he didn't remember me. I was a little upset about that. I was like, Akiva was there for Tom's chemistry read, and you're kind of just like, oh, cool, I get to see this person again. And he comes on, he's like, hey Sam, nice to meet you. And I was like, nice to meet you too, Akiva. And then I saw him just before, like, we started filming, maybe like a week or two before. And I was like, Akiva, we worked together before. And he's like looking at me, and you could tell he just like doesn't want to say like remember you. And I'm just like, Discovery. And he was like, Discovery. I was like, yeah, you bought me a t-shirt in Vegas at the convention. I was just like, I still have the t-shirt, Akiva, but yeah.
You're like, I thought
Hopefully.
that t-shirt meant
I
something.
thought that was a moment. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how hands-on was Akiva during the process of filming?
Oh my God, he was there every single day, and
Wow.
when he wasn't, he was rewriting and seeing. I mean, this job is this project has been happening or wanting to happen, wanting to be made for a very, very long time. And I found that out on set. I mean, so many different people were attached to play Billy, and then at one point, I think it wasn't supposed to be about Billy. They wanted to make it about his mom, and that this person was attached to it, and it's crazy. So I think this is his baby. This is his baby and Alexandra's baby, and I guess Tom's baby as well. Yeah, I mean the three of them. I've never seen three people work that hard for something to be made, and especially the attention to detail that both he and Tom showed on set. Tom was very. I mean, I don't know how much I can say, but there's a lot of attention to detail to be paid in this show. And I think this is a show that people are going to watch over and over again, just to catch different things. I found myself doing that with Pale Blue Eye, right? Christian Bale, Pale Blue Eye, the Netflix movie. And I think this is going to be a series like that, which is pretty special because like there's not a lot of series. I mean, unless you count the Sopranos. The Sopranos, I probably watched that a dozen times, but hopefully it'll be like The Sopranos where people just keep watching it. But
Yeah.
yeah, the two of them and three of them really just like paid. And Akiva, being that it's a period piece, really helped with that 70s like lingo and the whole
Yeah.
like vibe of it. It was really cool.
That's amazing. Okay, so did you speak with well, okay, now I know that you majored in psychology, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, psychology
Okay.
and philosophy. Yeah.
Amazing. So one of my questions was, did you speak with a psychiatrist or psychologist about like how to play the role and like what was your research process like? But it sounds like you kind of had probably a head start on everything because you're major.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the cool thing is, I mean, with Mike's role, like, I think if you were to ask Mike about psychology, and it was
Okay.
just like, he'd be like, "Don't worry about it," and you'd just be like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "Don't worry about it," like
Yeah.
shake it off, but like in like a fun way. And I mean, honestly, the people who helped me most with just kind of getting into Mike's headspace were his team and my coach. Yeah, because they were they were really funny. They were just like, he's Tom. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean he's Tom? He's just like, Tom walks in the room and he makes you feel like you're like the most important person in the world.
Wow.
And he's super interested in what you have to say, and you just kind of feel better after you've spoken with him or like been in a room with him. And I was just like, God damn, they're right. He has a confidence, but an ease to him
Yeah.
that I think puts everybody else at ease. And that's really something I tried to bring into Mike,
Yeah.
and let everybody else kind of be whatever version of their characters and of Danny they needed to be.
That's cool. Isn't it crazy how a difference it can make when someone like shows interest in you and like your life and like is interested in what you have to say? It's like just a human to human connection. Cause I feel like it's kind of rare these days that people, everybody's in their own lane, they're doing their own thing. And so it's so cool when you connect with someone who's like, yeah, I want to know about you. Like I'm interested in you. It's like the coolest feeling. Were there any specific scenes that like stood out to you that took like a million takes where either like you were busting up laughing, you couldn't get through, or like it was really hard, it was challenging, and you're like had a moment? Was there any scenes that just took like multiple takes?
I'll tell you one that was, and this is memorable because it was probably like one of the more intense scenes that I have as Mike. There are a lot of much more intense scenes in the show, but at least on my part, it was when we're in the park and Danny's trying to score weed, and he has that interaction with the drug dealer. First of all, that actor who we first encounter, who's the drug dealer's like right hand man, whatever calls him, was freaking had us like rolling because I don't know if you've seen it, but his laugh just had like it had Tom rolling, it had Akiva rolling, and we actually had to like I think they told him to like dial it down a bit because it was hilarious. Um, but yeah, there was that, and there was just that interaction with the drug dealer. That was yeah, we definitely we ran that a bunch. Um, yeah, and I I think for Levon, maybe I'll answer for him. Was the bike scene when he falls off the bike? I think I wasn't there for that, but I heard there was a lot going on. There were rigs, and he was falling onto pads, and it was nuts. But
Oh
yeah,
my gosh. I would love to see the BTS of that. That sounds so fun. Was there
yeah.
any behind the scenes moments that like stand out to you that was just really special, or just a moment with the cast or something funny that happened like in the trailers or just like after shooting one day?
Yeah, I said, oh man, I feel, with all these jobs, and I've worked the past two jobs I've had I've worked with like people my age, around my age. So it's just felt like I never had that like college dormitory experience.
Yeah.
So it always feels like that. And I get I should not get it as attached because it always hurts, but like I got so attached to them, and we were filming at the school. And I brought my dog. I brought my dog with me, and we were just kind of chilling. It was lunch. It was me, Levon, Emma, Nula. I think maybe Sasha was there. I don't remember. But we were just literally like it was like a 70s movie moment where like the camera's on top and all our heads are like connected in a circle. And we were just all chilling. I'm like throwing the ball for Duke. He's bringing it back. And, all these extras are rolling around. Like it's a school day, literally like a school day. And
Yeah.
then just like Tom came on by, and he was like, my dog fell in love with Tom. I'm like, you're not stealing my dog. Please. Nah, I love him. And yeah, that was just like, I don't know, it just felt like we were all like in character, but not just like hanging around this school in upstate New York. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I totally know what you mean. It's like same thing, performing arts kid, didn't go to college, so it's like those moments like on set or just on a project or something, that kind of feels like the replacement for
Yeah.
like that camaraderie that I feel like I missed out on because like, didn't have the dorm life, didn't spend, 4 years in school on at least on campus or whatever. So that's really cool that you guys had that connection and experienced that. And
Yeah.
I know that it's pretty rare to meet people that you connect with on such a deep level. So that is
Yeah.
awesome. So what are some of your favorite things about Mike, and what do you do like to make your character different than like a character that you've played before? Do you ever kind of go into it like, wait, I got to make sure I'm not playing the same in the same lane? Or does that not even cross your mind because it is like a different human that you're playing? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think especially for Mike, another show I did, there was a pretty similar character, also like same timeline, which was very which was very interesting. Like this sort of like late 70s
Wow.
New York kid, he's just kind of cool and confident. And it was very, I mean, it was very cool to be able to pull from that other character and bring that into the crowded room. But I think in terms of Mike, I mean, I love his confidence. I've like, I want to feel like that all the time,
Yeah.
like I want to be able to look at any problem and not see it as a problem. It's just like he's just kind of like moving like water, it's just like everything's just falling off of him, and nothing, nothing can touch him, nothing
Yeah.
sticks. I love that. And I think it was really kind of the complexity of the project and the whole, I think every character you want to get into like their psychology. But this one even more so, just because of the complexity of the story and Danny and all the people around him. So I think having it be so collaborative with Tom and his team and Akiva and everyone else, I think that made it as unique for me as it could possibly be. It
Yeah.
was, just because it was this cool New York kid, doesn't mean that it's every cool New York kid.
That's wild. So layered. So much detail goes into it, but it's just like a testament to your talent, which is so cool. So, what is it, if you had to choose one moment from your whole experience, what was your favorite moment of playing Mike?
Oh man. Oh. Ooh, that's hard. That's tough. Um, hmm. Man, I don't know. Like I just watched like the first episode too, and it's like all coming back, and oh, it's so hard to pick one. It's so hard to pick one.
Okay, I could change it. I could say, what scene are you most looking forward to watching back?
Ooh, from my understanding, it's later in the season,
Okay.
and it's when everybody kind of gets together, and I don't know how much I can say.
Okay.
um but it's when everybody just gets together. It's later in the season, and things have developed and things are being realized. um yeah, it's later in the season, and those were cool too because we shot those. I had like a bit of a break when they were off, filming other things, and I think everyone else did too. So it was just really interesting to come back, and like everyone starts to, that like symbiosis starts to form, and everyone's like family now. And it was really cool to come back and just feel like at home with
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
That's amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give you one last shot. Anything else you want to share about playing Mike that just stands out to you, that just changed your life in some way?
That changed my life. I mean, I think this whole job, this whole experience, I think is changed my life. And I'm really grateful for it. This was unlike any other job I've ever been a part of. And I'm upset that it's a limited series. It'd be so awesome for us to come back and do it again.
Yeah.
But I think for something that's taken this long to happen, for all of that whole team of people to think that I could be a part of it, is just, that's just a gift. There's no other way to describe it. It's nothing but a gift, and Mike has been a gift. And I hope I can, well, the confidence is in there somewhere, so I just gotta I just gotta bring it out more.
I love it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for those great answers. We're gonna do rapid fire really quick because I know it's
Ooh, all right.
12:30 here. So
Yeah, yeah.
whatever comes to mind. Okay, so favorite snack at Crafty.
Oh, favorite snack at Crafty, but the banana and peanut butter.
Nice.
Peanut butter packet on a banana. It's my favorite snack. Yeah.
Nice. What did you do on your downtime on set?
I played snooker. You guys, you know what snooker? I have no idea what this is, but I played snooker with Jason Isaacs. I don't know. It's like a billiards game, and there's a whole thing to it. He had it on his iPad. He was playing with Lior and me, and yeah, snooker.
Okay, I'll have to Google it now. Okay,
Yeah.
I love it. Did you have any embarrassing moments on set?
Um, this wasn't on this wasn't on set, but it was at the table read, and this is like day one. You know, I'm meeting everyone. Emmy Rosam's there, Amanda Seyfried, Will Chase, Tom Holland, Levon, Sasha, Emma. Everybody's there. Everyone's there, and we're reading through the scripts. And I don't remember how many we read through, but we read through the scene where we're with the drug dealer, and I'm talking to that laughing like right hand man kid, and my line is, "We want to buy an ounce of weed, man." And instead of that, I said, "We want to buy an ounce of coke, man." And the whole room just erupted in laughter, and I was so embarrassed, like. And then it just became like a joke, like an ongoing, like inside joke. It'd be like, "Oh, you want to buy an ounce of coke?" And it's just like, okay, God, I wanted to crawl out of my skin.
That's awesome. Oh my God. That's amazing. Would Mike have a Spotify playlist that he would listen to during the day? And like, what would be 3 songs on it?
Oh, I was listening to nothing but the Bee Gees. Yeah, it was the Bee Gees. It was oh, I'm blanking out on the name. Lovely Day. Who's that? Bill? Is that Bill with it? No. Who sings Lovely Day?
I don't know, but my dad listened to it growing up, so I know
Yeah,
what you
Lovely
mean.
Day. Lovely Day. I was listening to that. Yeah, a lot of Bee Gees and a lot of that. His I have a playlist that's called That Said, and Mike's playlist. I dedicated that to him.
Is it a public playlist? I feel like you have to make it public if it's not.
Don't look up my Spotify name. I am embarrassed. They do not. If you know anyone, if anyone at Spotify is listening, you need to let me change my username, because I made it in high school and you're not letting me change it. And I don't want to make another account. It's very embarrassing, but I won't say what it is. But all I will say, I made it around the time that YOLO was a thing. Remember YOLO, you only live once?
Oh yeah, of course.
So YOLO is in the name. It may be a play on my last name. That's all I'll say. But don't look me up on Spotify. Don't do it. I'm gonna make it private right now.
I love it. That's amazing. Do you know what a GRWM is?
GRW. Yeah.
On TikTok, get ready with me.
Get ready with me. Yeah. Right. I feel so old on TikTok.
Well, no, I was like, am I old? Because I still say YOLO sometimes.
Yeah.
What was your GRWM, your get ready with me, for like a day on set?
For a day on set, it was listening to that playlist. Okay. Especially listening to that like while he was getting ready. I feel like Mike was someone who would just like jam out while he was getting ready, you know, the hair, and I always left the hair to the professionals. Like yeah, it was a lot of just music and a lot of just like kind of like little like bopping, and just like my walk was very like, I had the Bee Gees playing in my head. Like there was that was my inner dialogue.
I love it. That is so much more simple than like any females get ready with me. We'd have like hair, makeup, hair, all the things. You're just like, I just listen to music and I bopped around. I'm like, that sounds like a nice life.
She's like, I hate you.
I love it. Okay, last question. If you, Tom, and Levon were in a zombie apocalypse, who would end up surviving?
Ooh, I think about the apocalypse like so much, like specifically like the zombie apocalypse, like way too much. I love The Walking Dead, and like now it literally looks like the apocalypse outside. I feel like we'd be okay. I feel, first of all, Tom is like a unit. Like you hug him and it's just nothing but muscle. So I'm like, all right, we got, you know, you're good. And I feel like he's fast. I didn't see him run, but I know he runs in the show and he just looks fast. So I'm like, all right, you're good. Levon, I feel like would be he'd be like our entertainment, and he's also very tall. So like, I feel like he'd be able to reach things and also like keep our spirits alive. He plays the guitar. He's very talented. He plays in a band. So I'm like, all right, I feel like we'd all be good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be like an everything kind of guy. I would just like help them out as much as I could. And Yeah, yeah,
You'd
yeah,
be on
yeah.
the
We'd
walkie-talkie.
be good. I'd be on the walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I survived New York, so I've been doing it for over 20 years now. So I can survive the zombie apocalypse.
I love it. Amazed you so
Sweet.
much. That was a great interview.
Thank you, Daniela. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
This
gonna
was
be on our.
fun.
Yes, this was so fun, and I appreciate you being so cool and answering all the questions. And you're great. So
Sam Vartholomeos. Thank you so much to Young Entertainment Mag, and don't forget to subscribe.